In the previous episode of Hardcore Minecraft, I built a giant mansion out of melons, and it turned out incredible. But there was one issue. I left it completely empty. So today's video is part 2 of building my melon mansion as I attempt to transform the inside of my build and make something awesome. And as always, these building videos take a long time to make, so if you do go on to enjoy this video, maybe consider subscribing and join the WadZee army. We're trying to take over YouTube this year, but we can't do it without your help. Anyway, enjoy the video. G'day guys, my name is WadZee and welcome back to another episode of Hardcore Minecraft. Oh, what's this I'm standing in front of? Just my mansion that I built out of melons. If you didn't manage to watch the last episode, this is what we got up to. But there's one issue with it. It's completely empty. What kind of mansion is this? So in today's video, our mission is going to be to fill in this mansion with levels and walls and rooms. But of course, before we can get started on that, there's one task we need to go ahead and do, and that's plant another 200 melons to the melon farm for today. And just like that, I've added another 200 melons to the melon farm for today. And if you're wondering, at the start of every single hardcore episode, I plant another 200 melons to this melon farm just to see how big it gets. And it's because of this silly little gimmick that I actually ended up building a mansion out of melons. So yeah, if you want to see how big this melon farm gets and what else I build out of melons in the future, make sure to subscribe. So I know this episode is all about fixing up the melon mansion, but in the last episode, there came a part where I was trying to get some green dye and I realized that this world is really missing something, but that is an automatic cactus farm. So I figured since it'll be easy to make, let's just start off this episode by making an automatic cactus farm. All right, let's get to work. So step 1, we just need to dig out an area. I'm going to build it into the ground just so it'll be, you know, tidy, nice and tucked away. All right, we've got our pit for us to build our cactus farm in. Now we may run into an issue because I'm actually not sure. I'm not exactly 100% sure how we're going to get the collection system to work, but we'll just give it a shot. I'm gonna try to use water to push items to the middle, but if I put one source of water there, where does that get us? Yeah, that gets us to there. Ooh, okay, now we're getting places. All right, so then we can dig down this layer where the water isn't. All right, so that almost pushes everything into the middle. Almost. There's a few little blocks on the corners here that blocks can possibly get stuck on, but maybe we can just chuck an extra water source in those and maybe that'll fix it up. All right, I think no matter where a block falls on this contraption now, it'll come into the center here, which is good. That's what we want. Then we can just join up a bunch of hoppers all around here. And now I guess I can go along and plant a cactus on each of our blocks here. And now all we got to do is in the intersection between these cactuses, need to put some walls or really any block between them. And that way, when they grow to this height against this block, it'll cause them to break because cacti can't grow next to a block. All right, so this kind of defeats the whole purpose of why I built this farm, but I'm actually going to sit around and wait and watch this farm for a while, start a bit of a time lapse and let's see how efficient this farm really is. Boring. All right, the grand reveal. In roughly half an hour, our cactus farm managed to give us... Hey, actually not the worst thing. So we started off with 16. So take away 16 from that. We managed to get 76. But cacti aside, that's not why you clicked on this video. We've still got a lot of building to do in this video. And as well as that, we've got to collect a lot of blocks first. So we better get started. And a few of you guys actually left a lot of comments on the last video telling me that I should make the walls on the inside of our melon mansion a red color. So it's like a watermelon, you know, green on the outside, red on the inside. And I thought that was a really cool idea. So we're going to be using a lot of these red blocks in today's build. So yeah, let's go get collecting. All right, now it's finally time to move on to some more interesting blocks. We're getting some red wood from the nether. We're gonna need a lot of this stuff. I do wish, my one wish was this stuff was more red. As you can see, it's pretty much just purple. Uh-oh. All right, and now the next block I'm going to grind to get a lot of is going to be the red concrete. And the one fortunate thing about making red concrete is I actually have quite a lot of red dye, or at least I have a lot of poppies from my iron farm here. So now I just need a ton of gravel, a ton of sand, and I can go ahead and make stacks and stacks of this stuff. But the hardest thing and the most annoying thing about this is I'm going to have to go ahead and turn it from concrete powder to concrete by putting it in water. So this bit is going to take up a lot of my time. It's going to be quite the grind, but then I had an amazing realization. Hang on, actually. I mean, this red block looks great as a building block and all, but what would you say looks more like watermelon out of these two? The powder, right? Since it looks more like watermelon flesh, to save myself the time, I'm actually going to build out of the concrete powder. And one thing we definitely can't forget about is lighting, because this mansion has been like filled with mobs ever since I've built it, because it's just been so dark on the inside. So we need to make sure we light it up properly. And for that, I'm thinking we may use a bunch of sea lanterns. So let's head down here, and where do I keep it? There we go. We got a bunch of sea lanterns. Let's just grab them all for now. So for now, I finally had enough blocks to get started. And now it's, well, you know what time it is. Well, it's good to be back. We're back at our melon mansion. I forgot how good this looked. First step is floor 1. We just got to fill in the whole floor, and we're going to need a lot of blocks for this. Uh-oh. Okay, as you can clearly see, we definitely need to light this place up. Oh, for the love of... All right, so I've now completely covered over our first floor. So we finally have a floor in this building. But before we get started on any walls or anything, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and do the next floor and then probably the ceiling on that. Make sure to light up all the areas, get rid of all the mobs. And then we'll get started on doing all of the walls and and all that. All right, so to get us started, I'm going to do a layer of our crimson wood first to mark the ceiling. Anyway, my job now is to cover this entire area with these slabs, which is going to take forever. And then on top of that, we're going to do another layer of like melon floor. And then we'll have to probably go over with more slabs to do the ceiling. We're going to be at this for a little while longer. All right, we are almost there. So close. We've got the first layer, the second layer, and now I've just got to put a ceiling on this floor. I don't think we're going to have a third floor. I think just the 2 will be plenty. So yeah, this layer here, I'm just going to cover the whole thing over. Now, it may seem like I hadn't achieved much yet, but just putting these floors into this build took a couple hours, so I ended up coming back the next day and finishing it all off. All right, and finally, after so much time, we've finished the ceiling. So this top layer is completely sealed off now. We can close it up forever and just forget about it. And now we should have all of our layers ready to put some walls in and, you know, make this place actually look nice. So far in this transformation, we've managed to turn the inside of our mansion from this into this, but clearly we still have a lot of work to go. So step 1, just like when we were building the outer walls of this build, now we need to do a bit of a floor plan for the inner walls. Okay, so this is our current floor plan for floor 1. You can see I've marked out a few different rooms and stuff. I don't even know exactly what these rooms are gonna be, or if they'll even ever be anything. I mean, all right, I figure let's just give this a shot. Let's just put in some damn blocks now and see what this ends up looking like. Okay. All right, another thing is this birch wood at the bottom of our walls here. I don't know if I'm in love with it. So I came up with a few ideas that could maybe make it look better. All right, so here's our few options here. We've got some white terracotta and that, or we've got the red terracotta in that, which honestly I think just works the best. Although this does look more like a melon slice to me. Maybe we should go with one of these. Look, actually now I'm starting to think I might go with the white terracotta. I had almost figured out how I was going to build these walls, but I had one other idea which would make it perfect. But first I would need to collect some more blocks. Here we are back in our mesa, here to wreak some havoc once again. I do want some black terracotta as well, but I don't know if I can get that without having to dye it. So majority of that I'll get from dyeing this plain terracotta. Ah, I was waiting for that. All right, we've definitely got enough terracotta now, so let's make our way home. On the way home, actually, it might be cool if we just make a quick trip to our wither skeleton farm. May as well just get some XP to repair our tools while we're this close. But also, while I'm here, I can grab a few bones for white dye. Anyways, enough messing around and enough thinking about what I'm gonna do. It's time we just got to work and we built these walls. Alright, now we're really getting somewhere. This wall looks like watermelon. I was really happy with the design I had come up with for the wall. It looked awesome, and as I said, it made you actually feel you were inside a watermelon. All I had to do now was build these walls everywhere. It's update time on floor number 1. As you can see, as I run around here, all of our walls have now been put in place. But as you can see, there is still a ton of imperfections with our exterior wall, and it really uglies up the place a lot. My next job here is going to be fixing up the bottom of our exterior wall, and maybe also even playing around with how it blends into the red wall. I've been thinking, and I think all I'm going to do for that is I think that'd work fine. So I went off and grabbed a bunch of andesite and touched up all the walls on floor 1, and it looked great. But then it was time to do the same for the second floor. But we needed a way to get up there, so it was time to build a staircase. Alright, yeah, I think that definitely works. That's kind of what I was going for. The only thing now is kind of the shape of the stairs on the outside and everything. I feel like I would technically want kind of a handrail, and we've actually kind of shaped this now. I think it may be a little too much, but anyway, you guys get the idea. We've got the staircase here now. I'm gonna play around with it a little more and just make sure it's how I like it. Yeah, once I get this down, we'll then have connected the first floor to the second, and we can start putting all the walls we need to put up here. So you guys know the drill. A bit of a floor plan and a couple extra staircases later, and I got straight back into transforming our second story. And only 2 hours of work later, we had finally done it. We had now transformed our mansion from this at the start of this video to now this. And I must say, this has got to be by far the best mansion you've ever seen made out of melons. But the fun had only just begun. I spent 2 whole days simply putting only walls and a floor in a building. Pathetic. Now, if I was really going to make this mansion complete, I would have to do my least favorite thing in all of Minecraft. Interior design. I mean, clearly, because every build I make, I just leave empty. Bruh. And now I've got to do the interior building with furniture and stuff. And this is my least favorite kind of building. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but let's just give it a shot. And the hallway is now complete. I think I've definitely improved it. I don't know. It's still maybe a little bit boring, but I mean, it's a hallway. I can't really expect too much from it. The things I do like is I've added this, purple accent to the walls. That really helped the wall because it was extremely plain. I've got the little flower pots all over the place. Most importantly though, this whole area is well lit up now. No mobs can spawn in here and all the sea lanterns are hidden. Now I think we should move on to one of our rooms. Maybe this one. Oh, I don't know. This is so challenging. All right, next room we're going to tackle is this room here. And we're going to make this giant room a massive library. Now, obviously, if we're going to be making a library, we're going to need a lot of bookshelves, which are not the easiest block to get, and I'm a little bit concerned that we may not have a great source of paper. Now, fortunately, what I do have quite a lot of is leather. Yikes. Okay, so we made 7 bookshelves. So of course, 15 minutes into the video, I scavenged around my entire world for as much sugarcane as possible and started a brand new sugarcane farm and ended up waiting around for hours for it to grow just so I'd have some stupid blocks to put in a stupid room. And you wonder why these videos take so long to come out. All right, 3 stacks of bookshelves, bloody, that's perfect. That should hopefully be enough to do quite a lot of building. Just like that, we've completed another room. This is our library, fit with, you know, a reading area, my very own enchantment table, just countless shelves. And my personal little favorite detail is this little hidey hole underneath here. So yeah, I think this room is great. I'm really happy with how this turned out. And I'm also really happy with the extent in which I've managed to light up all the rooms, but also not have the lighting be too like ugly. There's no torches just laying on the ground around here. All the lighting looks really aesthetic and it's like all hidden. Now I got to figure out what I'm going to be doing next. Maybe we'll do this room. Another room complete, a bit of a storage room slash, I don't know. This is honestly one of my favorite rooms now. What I've done with these shelves is honestly one of my favorite details I've made, especially this shelf area. This looks great. I've used the space well, and yeah, this room still seems really practical despite just it being an effort to just fill in a room. This room here is going to be our next room, I'm thinking, and it's going to be kind of like an armory room. I want to have a lot of armor stands in here, and I don't know, I'll figure it out as I go. But yeah, this room's up next. Now, you may be wondering, I've got iron armor here, I've got gold armor here. What on earth could I possibly be putting right there? Well, I mean, there's nothing quite better than diamond armor. I mean, maybe netherite, but I'm not going to go get a whole set of netherite armor just to put in my mansion. And that's another room done. I must say this is probably my least favorite room so far. I mean, it's good. It's definitely, I mean, different. And it definitely looks like it has a purpose. We're so close to getting the first half of the bottom floor done. There's only just this one last room to do here, which I'm thinking is going to be like a bit of a bedroom. Not like a master bedroom, but just like maybe I'll scatter like 4 or 5 different beds in here. And then once I've done this half, then I think I'm going to move on to do this big main room here, because this room's going to be pretty important. And I've almost finished this bedroom. All I've got to do is add some flowers to these flower pots. But yeah, I think it looks all right. It's a bit of a mess, but hey, finally I've got some beds inside. So whenever it turns nighttime and I don't want to go outside and deal with the mobs, I can just sleep inside our mansion now. And with that, our first half of the bottom floor is done. And as I run around, you'll see this place, it feels like a mansion now. It's weird. I never build like this. And now it was time for us to stop messing around and put all of our focus into the biggest of rooms. All right, step 1, it's time to build a throne. Now, you may be wondering why on earth I've built this giant throne. And I mean, isn't it obvious? There's clearly only one rightful owner to this throne, and that's Melanie. What, you guys didn't think I was gonna live in the Melon Mansion, did you? Of course not. This whole thing is for Melanie. right, it is time to build a chandelier. All right, well, that alone makes a pretty decent chandelier. Maybe it's a bit of a mess, bit too bulky. But what I want to try next is I'm actually going to head to the end because I want to grab a bunch of end rods. I feel like that will make this look a lot better. All right, here we are at the end city. I'm just here to collect as many end rods as I possibly can. I don't want to, you know, make too many enemies. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I am under attack. Leave me alone. I'm not here to kill you. Please, just let me steal your lighting. Uh-oh. Okay. You brought this upon yourself. Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Oh, no. And the throne room is now complete. Complete with a massive chandelier, a massive throne, multiple tables with cake. And honestly, at this point, I'm sick of building. I had spent so long just decorating a few rooms that I figured it wasn't worth doing the rest in this video. That's not to say these rooms will stay empty forever, but for now, just imagine I finished them all. Look, I need to get this video out at some point, alright? So since this build is technically now finished, let's take a step back and look at just how I managed to create this ridiculous mansion out of melons. This melon mansion has been a ton of fun to build, but it took me hundreds of hours. So if you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheers.